and Bluegrass.
October is Domestic Violence Prevention Month, a time to spread awareness and remember the victims. The state's latest data shows that in 2022, there were more than 20,000 reports of domestic violence. Several Kentucky leaders attended a proclamation signing this week for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Kenton County lawmaker Stephanie Dietz is planning to file a bill to expand Kentucky's domestic violence law to include coercive control.
The abuser may silo relationships, cut off access to bank accounts, make it impossible for a victim to escape or have any outside contact. So the hope is that if we add these circumstances, this criteria to our domestic violence statute, that victims could get a court order of protection earlier.
This year, Kentucky lawmakers allocated more than $7 million in the budget to domestic violence centers around the state. And last year, lawmakers created the Safe at Home program, allowing victims to shield their address on public records. Representative Moser, I want to start with you here. I think you both would agree that this is not a bipartisan issue, but a nonpartisan issue that everybody wants to help folks that are in tough situations. As women lawmakers, I'm curious how this particular issue may hit you and just how attitudes may have changed in your time in the legislature.
Well, I do think that it's easier for victims to come forward now. The stigma is a little less, but it doesn't change that these victims are leaving a very difficult situation, and so the domestic violence shelters have to consider a lot about their life. You know, it's not just their children; it might be their pets that they're afraid to leave. There are a lot of reasons why women and men stay in violent situations, and I think the more that we raise awareness and educate folks about the services that we have available, the protections that we're putting in place, the better services that we'll see individuals get.
As a female lawmaker, same question.
I'm a survivor of domestic violence, okay? I've lived that story. But so many people who needed the protection don't get it. And so those are the folks that, we really need to find a way to reach. But, certainly as a survivor, and as a practitioner that practices in the system, there are abuses in the system too. So you've got to find a way to allow that victim, the true victim, whether it is a male or female. I've represented men that are victims in this, and sometimes that gets pushed away. And then we spend a whole lot of time and money on the victim. But that perpetrator is going to go cultivate a new victim 9 times out of 10. So I think there's got to be a better mechanism to deal with the perpetrator and to see if we can stop that generational cycle of abuse, because it usually is. And so identification, intervention. I was in Asheville before the flood and went to their Family Resource Center where they have the one-stop shop and looked at some of the ways that they did it down there with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, or community providers, and all that. And I was very impressed with some of the things, the takeaways that we can bring back. But we've got to reach these folks, and I think Representative Dietz's idea is real. I mean, it is before something bad happens, there are symptoms, red flags, to use a cliche, if you will, in what is going on in that relationship. And the earliest intervention is certainly going to be the safest for the victim.
Being a legal mind and having gone through this yourself, I mean, is there ways on the books right now to try and kind of zero in and target whenever somebody is showing signs that, hey, maybe something bad hasn't happened yet, but it's probably going to happen? How do you alert somebody?
Well, the language, the letter of the law is the letter of the law. And sometimes something does have to happen, or a documented event, or there's got to be an evidentiary base for a judge to proceed. And most judges err on the side of caution. If it's close, they will certainly give that individual protection, as they should. But it's a very hard thing to strike from a legal standpoint, of making sure that protection is in place. And as the bill drafters, we see that all the time. And you're never going to get it perfect, but you just have to give enough flexibility to that judge, in my opinion, to give them some leeway to act.
We're going to have to leave it right there, but thank you all both so much for your insight on this very sensitive topic.